In this lecture, we are going to talk about JavaScript, which is the most popular programming language out there. In the world of programming, JavaScript is an essential programming language that you need to take a look at. So with regards to JavaScript, JavaScript is basically a text-based programming language primarily used to make web page interactive, dynamic, and also adding functionalities beyond a simple static content. And also, it can be used for server-side developing and more. So with regards to JavaScript, JavaScript is basically a programming language that helps us to make interaction with our browser. Without further ado, let's just jump right into the coding aspect. Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to talk about JavaScript, and with regards to this tutorial we are going to continue with our HTML and CSS that we already take a look at in our previous video. So all we just have to do is I'm going to create an HTML template, and after that I'll create a JavaScript file, then I'll link both together. So let's just jump right into it. To create an HTML template, you just have to type HT. You see we have HTML double colon then 5. Select that one. Now when you click, you see that this template have been generated for you. So let me zoom in. So with regards to this template, now I need to link my now I need to create my JavaScript file, and after that I'll link it to this HTML template. So let me click on file, then click on new file. Then now I'll give my file name JavaScript, but you can name it whatever you want it to be called. So my file name is JavaScript, but you need to add an extension. So after typing JavaScript or after giving your file a name, just have to add the extension. The extension for JavaScript is .js. So the extension for JavaScript is .js. So you now click on create. This is what you get. Now don't write anything here. All we just have to do is move to the HTML tag. Now we need to link our JavaScript file to our HTML tag. So all we just have to do is introduce a tag which is known as the script tag, and normally it should be at the last part of your of the body, or it should be located at the bottom of your body tag. So all you just have to do is open the double curly braces. Now type script. That's the opening. Now let's close it up. Let's now greater than slash script. Now all you just have to do is move your cursor to the opening tag of the script. Now you type src, which is basically the source. Then you give it equal to, then double curly braces. In between the double curly braces, you need to now reference the path to this JavaScript. So since it is going to be in the same folder, all you just have to do is type Java, or type your file name, then then add the extension .js. So with regards to this, if you save and even open it up in our browser, nothing is going to show. All because in our JavaScript, we haven't done anything here. So in order for us to display something on our JavaScript, or something to be displayed on our screen, all we just have to do is we just have to come to the JavaScript and type console.log and double curly braces. This console.log basically means it should print. So all you just have to do is type whatever you want it to be printed on the screen. So give it a double quotation, then type whatever you want it to be displayed. So type hello there. So hello there. So basically, after typing the hello there, you come out of the bracket and give what? A semicolon. So this is basically telling us that console.log is basically saying print this out on the screen. So now let's save our file. Now let's jump to our folder in which we save both our HTML and our what JavaScript file, and this is it. So now let's just right click on the file. Now open it with Google Chrome. You could see that nothing have happened here. So all we just have to do is right click on our screen, go to inspect. You will see that this dialog box have been opened. At the right hand corner, you could see something, or you could see console. Now click on the console. Now refresh. You will see that okay, something is supposed to show up. Okay, let me save my HTML file and my JavaScript file. Now let me open the browser. Now let me refresh and see. You could see that the text have been displayed hello there. It was because I did not save my HTML tag. That's why it did not show up in the browser. But after saving it up and refreshing, you will see that the hello world have shown here. So with regards to the tutorial, I'm going to make a setup that we are going to use throughout this video section. So I'm just going to minimize my browser and make it a little bit smaller like this, and also make my code editor also to be somewhere like this. So my interface is basically going to be this way. Someone might ask, why am I doing it this way? It's because I want us to work mainly with the browser rather than using an external plugin or an external package to do that. So I want us to work hand in hand with the browser. Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to talk about variable, and the first variable that we are going to take a look at is the string variable. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So for us to create a variable, all we just have to do is type the word let. Just type the word let and give it a space. Now we need to give the variable a name. So I'll give the variable a name as x, then we'll give it equal to, then since it's a string variable, we just give a double quotation and type the value of the variable. So let's type hello there. So and end it with what? A colon. All we are doing here is we are creating a variable, and the variable is labeled, it's labeled x, and the value of that variable is hello world. So now that hello world that you can see within the quotation is basically saying that the value of our variable is hello world, whilst the variable name is x. So in order for us to display the variable, all we just have to do is come down most, type console.log, then type the name of the variable, and the name of the variable is x. So now when we save our file, now check what happened when we refresh our browser. You will see that hello, okay, it was supposed to be hello there. Now let's save it. There is another variable that you need to take into consideration, which is the Boolean variable. So in order for us to create the Boolean variable, it's basically a variable which is true or false. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So in order to create that variable, you just type let, then give it a space, then give it a name. So let's assume our variable name is going to be z, then equal to afterward, the only thing that you need to specify is either a true or false. So you just type false. Then in order for us to display it, let's console log the variable. Now let's save it. Now let's refresh our browser. You will see that it has been displayed here false. So with regards to the Boolean variable, it only takes two arguments. It's either true or false. So here we indicated false. So let me change the false to true. Now let me save the file and let me refresh it. You will see that our console have displayed true. So with regards to this boolean variable, it's normally used in condition, but our latter part of the tutorial, or in the latter part of the tutorial, I'll explain how to use the boolean variable really well. Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to talk about addition in JavaScript, basically how to add numbers. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. First of all, let's create our variable. So we start with let, then give the variable a name of x, then equals to, now we need to give it a value. So let's give it a value of 40 and end it with a semicolon. Now let's come to the downmost part. Let's create another variable. So let's give our variable a name of y. Then let's give it a value. So equals to a value of, let's say, 10 and end it with a semicolon. So now now what I need to do now is add the variable out together, more or less x then y. So let me create another variable and afterwards we add them up. So our variable name is going to be z. So z equals to, so for us to add the value of x and y together, all you just have to do is type y then plus x, then end it with what? A semicolon. So for us to display it on the screen, we just have to type console.log, then in between the bracket we type z. Now let's save it. Now let's refresh our browser. You will see that the value 50 is being displayed here. So that's the value 50 being displayed here. So basically that's how to do addition in JavaScript. Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to make division in JavaScript. So without much saying, let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to create two variables. So our first variable is going to be, let me give it a variable name of number 1, then equals to, let's give it a value of, let's say, 50. Now end it with a semicolon. Now let's create the second variable. So and give it the variable name should be number 2. Okay, number 2, then equals to, then give it a value. So the value, let's just say the value should be 10. Then now afterwards, let's end it with a semicolon. Now for us to do division in JavaScript, let's create another variable and do the calculation division. So let's create the variable. So let's give the variable a name. So let's give it a name of division, then equals to, then all we just have to do is pick our numbers or pick our values and do the division. So with regards to that, our first variable name was numbers, which happens to be 50. So the number applies to 50. So all we just have to do is type the word number 1. Then afterwards we have to divide it. So you have to divide. So we divide it by number 2, since number 2 is the second number that we are going to divide. So number then 2, then end it with a semicolon. Then afterwards we need to display it. So console.log, then bracket, in between the bracket we call our variable name, which is division. So division. Then afterwards let's just save our file. Now let's open our browser. Now let's refresh it and see. You could see that our value have changed to 5. So if you do the math really well, you could see that 50 divided by 10 is what? Is 5. So let's assume, let's change the number 2 to, let's see, let me change it to 5. Let me change it to number 5. So now what we are doing now is the first number is 50, and we are changing our second number from 10 to 5. So now let's save our file. Now let's refresh. You will see that our answer is what? 10. And indeed 50 divided by 5 is 10. Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to talk about if statement. An if statement is basically a conditional statement. Regardless of whatever happened, if it is true, it should do some logic for you. So let's just jump right into it. So for us to create the if statement, all you just have to do is type the word if, which stands for if. Then afterward, give a space, then bracket. Then after the bracket, you come out of the bracket and type what? Curly bracket. And in between the curly bracket, all you just have to do is tell whatever should be displayed on what? On your console. So I'll just type console.log. Then I'll just type and give it hello there. Now, with regards to our bracket, all we just have to do is implement either the condition is true or false. So in this state of our if statement, if it is true, it would basically display this console.log, which says that hello there, and if it is false, it won't display it. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to type true. Now let's save. Now look at the code very well. We are saying if true, it should print out the word hello there. So now when we save our file, now let's refresh our browser. You will see that hello there have been displayed. So basically we are saying if true, it should display hello there. So see what happened if I change the word true to false. So now let me change it to false. Now let me save our file. Now let me refresh our browser. You could see that nothing shows here because the if say is false. So if false, basically it's trying to say the moment it is true, it should display whatever is in this curly bracket, and if it is false, it should do nothing. So basically that's if statement in the nutshell. Guys, in this tutorial I'm going to introduce you to the if else statement. Basically it's a conditional statement which says that if it is true, it should do this, else it should do something else. So let's just jump right into it. All you just have to do is type the word if, then give it a space, then bracket, then come out of the bracket, then implement the curly bracket. Then outside of the curly bracket, you just have to type else, E-L-S-E, then introduce what? A curly bracket. Then the first thing that you need to take into consideration is the bracket, which is the first bracket. So what you just have to do is type in the bracket. So let me type true. Then the first curly braces, let me console.log, let me console.log yes is true. Then in the else statement, which basically in the curly braces of the else, now let me console.log, then bracket, then say no, it is false. It is false. Okay, now let me save it. Now let me go to our browser. Now refresh it. You will see that it is true is being displayed because the first condition say if true, it should display yeah, it is true. Else, so which means since if is true, it will only display this. But the moment the if statement is false, it will rather display this. To check out, let me change the word from true to false. Now let me save it. Now let me refresh. You will see that it have changed from yeah it is yeah is true to no it's false. So basically that's the if statement for you. Hello guys. Hello guys. We are going to work with a real scenario of if else statement. So let's just jump right into it. So we type the word if, then space, then give it our bracket, and afterwards we give it our curly bracket. Then outside of the curly bracket, we just type else, then give it a curly braces. Then with regards to the first bracket, all we just have to do is give it a condition. So with regards to this, I'm going to say 5 is less than 20. Then anytime 5 is less than 20, you should console.log true. And this else statement stands for if this statement is false, then what do you want to do? So this one I want to console.log false. So now when I save my file, now refresh the browser, you will see that true is being displayed because 5 is indeed less than 20. But if 5 is indeed less than 20, then console log true. So which means if 5 is less than 20, it should print what? True here. So that's why true is being displayed. So the moment I just change this number, or let me change this number to 50, 50 is not less than 20. So this statement is false. So basically it will console log, or it will print out false in our console. So now let me save it. Now let me refresh it. You will see that it has changed to false because this statement is false, and anytime it is false, it should display this. Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to talk about array in JavaScript. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So let's create our variable. So and the variable name should be, let's give it a name of animals, then equals to, then afterwards, in order for us to create our array, we just have to implement the square bracket. So in the square bracket, we just have to list the item up. So I have to give a name of animal. So let's go. Our first animal name is let's say cat, but our array is basically in a string format, so that's why I give it the double uh, string kind of notation, then comma, then let's give it a quotation, a double quotation, then give it another animal name. Let's give it dog. Okay, then also another animal name. Let's give it, okay, tiger. Okay, tiger. Now let's end it with a semicolon. Then afterwards, now let's print it out. So console.log. Then all we just have to do is pass our variable name to animals. Now let's save it. Now let's refresh our browser. You will see that our animal name have been displayed here, and it is telling us that in the array we have 3 elements. So 1, 2, 3. So with, okay, the word is tiger. Okay, we have 3 elements in our array. So in order for us to target a specific element, so let's assume we want to target dog, all we just have to do is, after mentioning the name of the variable, we just introduce the square bracket and type the index of the item that we need to call. So with regards to the index, the first one is cat. So the cat is indexed as 0, and dog is indexed as 1, and tiger is indexed as what? As 2. So all we just have to do is, after typing the variable name, we have to index it to, the index is what? Is 1. So we just have to type 1 here. Now when you save it, Now when you refresh it, you will see that dog have been displayed. So if you want to also display tiger, all you just have to do is look out for the index. So cat is index 0, dog is index 1, and tiger is index 3. So all you just have to do is in between the square bracket, you just have to type the index, which is 3. Now let's save it. Now let's refresh it. Okay, 0, 1, okay, 2. The tiger is supposed to be 2. So it's because we type 3 and 3, we don't have any value for 3. That's why they give us undefined. So the index was 2. So you just have to change it to 2. Now when you save it, now let's refresh our browser. You will see that tiger have been displayed. Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to talk about loops. And the first loop that we are going to take out is the for loop. So to implement the for loop, all you just have to do is type the word for, then open bracket, then afterwards you open a double curly braces. Then in between the opening and closing of the bracket, you need to specify a condition. And with regards to this for loop, there are items that you need to specify. First of all, you need to specify the value and also the range and also the number of times it needs to increase. So basically, let me implement the value. So you just type let I equals to 0, then you end it with semicolon. Then now you need to give it a range. So let's give it I less than 5, then end it with semicolon. Then the last argument, you need to tell the increment, so you just type I plus plus. So basically, with regards to this for function, first of all you need to specify the variable and the value, as in the variable is I, and you should start at an index of 0, and it should be in the range of the I, which is 0, and less than what? Less than 5. And after that it should increment it by what? The I plus plus simply means it should increment it by 1. So all you just have to do right now is console.log, then let's put the I. Now if you save it, now refresh our browser, you will see that number from 0 to 4 have been displayed on our screen. So basically, what this for loop does, it runs for the first time and console log I, which is what? 0. So it runs for the first time and see let I, which is 0, and 0, 5 is less than 0, so it should what? It should print the 0 out first. Then it runs for the second time. Now for the second time the I will be 1, so I will be 1 will be less than 5, so it will console log the 1. Then it will run again till it prints a number which is less than 5, and 5 is not less than 5, so the end result will be 4. So that's why in our console log you see that our last number is 4. And look at how the I plus plus goes. So anytime it runs the loop for the first time, it will increment it by 1. So it runs for the first one and give you 0, and after 0 it increments it by 1, then runs again. That's why it gives you 1, and it's incremented by 1 by adding 1 again, then it runs it again and gives you 2. So basically the loop function is basically help us repeat some argument for some specific number of times. So you can also even remove this console log and the console log I, then display console.log, then give it a string of what, hello. Now let's save it. Now let's refresh our browser. You will see that hello have been displayed 5 times. That's why you will see that hello, and at the side you will see the 5. So basically it's displaying hello hello from 0 to what, to 4. So that's why you are getting 5 here and hello over there.
Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to talk about the while loop. The while loop basically helps us to repeat some content a number of times. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So with regards to the while loop, all you just need to do is type the word while, then open a bracket, and in between the brackets it should be a conditional statement. So let me type condition, okay, then come out of the bracket and open a curly bracket, and now we want to print something out on the console. So console.log, and let's print out hello here. So basically what we did was type the word wow and open a bracket, and afterwards we open a curly bracket, and in the first bracket should be a statement, and that statement, the moment that statement is true, it is going to print the hello there on our screen. But when we just type here true and we try printing the thing out, since this while loop will run, it will run infinity, so it will never end. So when you just type true here and you tell it to run, you see that it will run. At the end of the day, you end up crashing your machine, or you end up you end up crashing your machine because it has no end. So to do something in the while loop, I want us to have a range in which it has to stop. So let me create a variable. So the variable, let number, let me give it a variable. So let number is equal to, let's see, 10. 10. Okay. Now let me delete this conditional statement and now see number is less than or equals to 20. So basically what I'm saying that the moment this while loop run, it will check whether the number is less than 20. And if the number is less than 20, which is our variable, and our variable is 10. So now it will check whether 10 is less than 20. If 10 is less than 20, then it will print the hello there here. And afterwards, we need to increment our variable. So all we just need to do is type number plus plus, and that's basically telling us to increase it by 1. And in other places, you could see that they will type number equals to plus 1. But for simplicity in JavaScript, what we normally do is we just type number and we add plus plus to it. To basically, if you increment that number by 1. So now what the while loop will do is now run and put 10 here, since our number is 10, and check whether 10 is less than 20. And if 10 is less than 20, it will print hello there here, and now increment it to, now it will be 11, and it will run again till then this our variable number is less than or equals to 20, then stop. If not, if you don't do it this way and we just pass a true statement in this our while loop, it will print out hello there multiple times and it will never stop. More or less, it is an infinity loop. So now let's save our file. Now let's save our file, Control X, and now refresh our browser, and you could see that hello there have been printed how many times? 11 times here. So basically, this is what while loop means. But with regards to while loop, we need to take a look at real notice of something here, because the while loop run infinity, but for loop has its end. So in order for us to achieve a number of range of repetition, this is how we can achieve it in JavaScript.
Hello guys, in this tutorial I'm going to introduce you to functions, and in terms of JavaScript it is function that will basically tell us the interaction when a user click on a button or do certain activity on the browser. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So in order for us to create a function, the only thing that we need to take into consideration is, first of all, we need to type the word function. Then after typing the name function, you give a space and now specify the name of the function. So let's assume the function name is James. Then now we open double bracket, then open after opening the double bracket, come out of the double bracket and create a double curly bracket, and in between the curly bracket, that's when you perform all your function. So here I'm going to console log hello in the console. So all you just have to do, let me console.log then hello. So now when we save it and now refresh our browser, you see that nothing happened. So with this one, with regards to function, anytime you create a function, you need to call the function. So you come downwards, now call the function. The function name is James, then double bracket. Then now when you save it and now refresh your browser, you will see that hello have been displayed in the console. So basically, anytime you create a function, you need to call the function.
Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to create a function with parameters. So let's assume we want to create a function and do addition in the function or pass argument in the function. So all we just have to do is type the word function, then give our function a name. So the name is, let me see, Sam. Then open our bracket, then come out of our bracket and open a curly bracket. And in our first bracket, we need to specify the argument that we want to pass through. So let me pass x comma y. So x comma y is basically saying we are passing two arguments, and this argument, when you pass the two arguments, you have to make a calculation. So all we just need to do here is say x plus y. So with regards to this, we are just saying that when we pass this argument, we want to add x plus y and multiply it by 2. So with regards to this, to get our variable here, all we just need to do is type return in front of the function. So now we need to call our function. So we'll call our function by calling the name Sam, then open the bracket, then pass the argument. So let's pass 2 comma 5. So what this is doing basically is we need to end it with a semicolon. What this is, now let's save our file and refresh our browser. You will see that nothing happened. It's because we want to console log our result. So for us to console log our result, let's assign a variable to our sum function. So let me give it a variable of, let's say, z. So we type the let word z equals to. So basically we have assigned our result, which is a function, and that function take an argument which says that 2 plus x plus y, which is 2 plus 5, then multiply it by what? 2. Then now all we just have to do is type the word console.log print console.log z, which basically say print z. Now let's save our file and refresh our browser. You could see that 12 have been displayed here. So basically this is how to create a function and pass argument in JavaScript. Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to talk about do while loop. And do while loop basically tells something specific differently from the while loop. All the do while loop basically does it it does a specific function, then afterwards it does another specific function. So basically that is how the do while loop works. So all we just have to do is type the word do, then open